welcome back to another Minecraft Conquest Reforged video. I am the Kinder Knight, and we are back at our town of Roostonshire, making progress. As I mentioned in the last episode, in this episode, we will be adding some essential shops and professions, namely a baker, a butcher, a tavern and inn, and some stables with a groomsman's residence. So I'm very excited to show you guys some of the progress made. So without further ado, I'm going to cue the time lapse, and after I'll be back to give you guys a ground view tour. So I hope you guys sit back, relax, and enjoy the time lapse. Okay guys, we are back, and I'm really excited to show you guys what I was able to do in the last few days. I've done a lot of work off camera, I tweaked some things, and really just allowed the creative juices to flow. So there's a lot here that I want to show you guys. And obviously I already done a lot of work already, but it is still far from finished. There is still a lot of little details that I still need to add to really try to add that immersion factor to the build. But I think it came out well enough, and I'm ready to show you guys what I was able to do so far. So let's go ahead and start this tour. All right, now we're going to go ahead and enter, and we're entering from the western gate of Roostonshire. And as you see, we have a lot of immersion, and that's basically the goal, is to make it feel immersive and make you feel like it's actually a town, that this town has a story and all that good stuff. So we're going to go ahead and check out the butcher shop first. But before we go in, we're going to go ahead and explore around the butcher shop and just kind of check out some of its assets that it has on the property. So we're going to go ahead and go around. And as we begin to go around, we can see that there's meats out, laying out. Maybe the butcher was just out here working, and we can see a hatchet right here, so maybe he was chopping the meat and getting it ready to be sold at the market. And if we look at this thing right here, if we come to this, we see that this is the smoker where the butcher would smoke his meats and just let them cure inside that smoke box. And so we have our sausages and cuts of meat in the smoker smoking. So we're going to go ahead and make our way through the back here. And then we're going to check out this over here. This is the butcher's chicken coop, where where his chickens are supplied. If someone was to come in and they ask for a chicken, he would grab one of those and, fulfill that order. And right here is the barn where the larger animals are kept, like cattle and pigs and sheep. There's supposed to be some cows in here. I don't know where they went. Maybe they gotten out somehow. But as you can see, this is a very stinky place, as the flies are a direct indicator of that. And oh, there go our cow right there. He was hiding in the back, as it seems. And again, plenty of flies. To create that atmosphere, that barn-like atmosphere, we have pigs. And then we have this big mound of manure just sitting here that needs to be shoveled and removed, because these animals make a lot of waste. So this barn would be generally where the butcher would keep his animals at night to keep them safe. And we come to the yard area space, where this would be where the butcher, during the day, the butcher would allow his cattle, his sheep, his pigs to just come out here and, get some fresh air, get to stretch and to maybe graze and eat a little bit of grass and just kind of enjoy the sun a little bit. So that's what this spot would be. All right, so that was some of the assets that the butcher has on his property. Now we're gonna go ahead and check out the interiors of the butcher shop slash his residence, because he would live and work out of his home. And as you see, that sign that indicates this is a butcher shop, it's a picture sign because the people in this town will mostly can't read. So we're gonna come inside the butcher shop and we're gonna behold. So we have lots of meat, sausages, cuts hanging from the ceiling, plenty of fresh cuts out. I really went all out in trying to make this place really feel like a meat market. Knives everywhere, where he's working here, he's chopping, he's cutting, he's butchering up those cuts, he's preparing it for people to come by. And as you notice, there's blood on the floor, because when you're butchering an animal, it can be a very messy business. And we got two small animals here hanging up, maybe waiting for the butcher to come over and skin them and, butcher them up and do butcher things. And then over here we have a little station where the butcher has some salt, where he's salting the meat before he puts it in the smoker to help it cure a little faster and just to preserve it. So we're gonna go ahead and make our way through this curtain, come to the butcher's quarters, where he just has a bed. He has a little place to cook. He has some meat right there going. He has some stew on the stove going. And it's very simple, but it's his life. He's a single man. He's a butcher. He doesn't have a wife, so this is all that he would need. So we're gonna go ahead and move along, and we're gonna head towards the Inn and Tavern and the bakery. And now as we approach the Tavern Inn, I really tried to give this a really immersive feel with the way it's decorated, the way it's set up, and I think I did a really good job at that. I think it really has a festive and a really quite quaint kind of look to it and feel. But before we check out the tavern and the inn, we're gonna check out the bakery. And as you see, the baker has a chicken coop, and this is where he gets his supply of eggs, because we would know for a baker, eggs would be very important because he would need them to make his bread. So we're gonna go ahead and go inside. And as we step inside the baker's house, or the bakery, we see there's lots and lots of bread, fresh bread, all out, all spread out, all kinds. And this would be where the majority of this town's people would get their bread, would be from this baker. Of course, the townspeople could always make their own bread, but because of their daily duties and other jobs they got to take care of, it would be a lot of work for them to try to have their bread prepared, or to try to prepare their bread themselves. So it would be easier for them to just come down here and buy their bread from the baker and let him take care of, all that stuff. So we're going to move through here, and we come to the baker's private quarters, where again, he has a stove where he's cooking some food. He has some meat on there, and he has a little spot where him and his family can eat. And he has a bed for him and his wife. And that's about it. Again, the baker has a little bit more than most. He makes a little bit more coin than the average villager, but his lifestyle is still very simple in comparison to, say, the Lord of Roostonshire. So we're gonna go ahead and check out some other parts of the bakery. We're gonna go down this way and we're gonna check out these outside stoves that the baker has. Now these are very important because on many occasions the Lord would need the baker to fulfill a large order of bread, so he would need multiple ovens to cook all that bread and fulfill all those commissions. So that's that. And now we're gonna go ahead and make our way to the Inn and Tavern. So this tavern would be where all of our village people would come just about at the end of the day, once their labors are done for the day, and they would come out here and they would find a seat and maybe order some food and some drink and try to enjoy what's left of their day before they got to retire for the night and wake up in the morning to start their daily grind all over again. So we're gonna go ahead and make our way inside the tavern. And as you see, we have meats hanging from the ceiling, we have vegetables, and we have sausages, and basically anything that our townspeople would want, they can have made here at the tavern. As long as they have the coin for it, they can have it. And so this tavern would probably see a lot of travelers traveling to Roostonshire to trade or to conduct some type of business. Maybe they're in town for a festival, or maybe they're here to buy a horse from Shire Stables. So this will give our peasants of Roostonshire a chance to meet and talk to people they normally wouldn't be able to, and maybe just catch up on some gossip and share some information or rumors about maybe the neighboring countries or maybe a neighboring territory. So we're gonna head outside now, close that door. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and head to the inn portion of our tavern, and it's located right here. So we're gonna open this door. So this would be where the travelers or maybe the residents of Roostonshire would come when they wanna maybe pay for their food and drink, or in the case of if you're a traveler, maybe you come here and you pay for your room for the night. So now we're just going to go ahead and take a look at some of the rooms. We won't look at all of them. We'll just check out a couple of them because they're generally are all the same. So we're going to go up these stairs and head to our first room. We're going to go ahead and open the door. And as you see, it's very simple, very modest. It's a bed for maybe a merchant and his traveling companion, or a knight and his squire. They have a little table to eat if they wanted to eat inside their room or have food brought up to them. So to note, this tavern and inn is ran by the same family. So they run both the inn and the tavern. So we're going to go ahead and close this door. And then we're going to make our way down the hall to the second room. And again, the room designs are all pretty much the same. They all have a couple of beds and a table to eat at, but very simple. But again, compared to what these peasants are used to, these rooms are very luxurious and very comfortable, and very welcoming for, especially if you're a traveler that's been on the road for a few days or so. So we're gonna go ahead and go behind here, and we're gonna check out this thing. Now, I built this thing at the last minute. I thought it was a cool idea to go ahead and add something like this. It's a big keg where maybe this is where they keep their mead or ale supply. Maybe they brew their own mead, and what they would do is they would climb up here and maybe they would, pour the hops and other ingredients, and maybe it would ferment in here, and then when it's ready, they'll go down at the bottom and they'll pour it into smaller barrels to where they would store it. So yeah, I just thought that's a cool idea, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what it kind of looks like from the sky so you guys can kind of see. I think it came out really awesome. I'm really happy with it, and I think it makes a lot of sense because at the end of the day, if an inn is able to produce their own drink, which was a very popular thing, everybody drank ale or mead, then that's money, and because they're brewing it themselves, that's 100% profit that they would make. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and head towards the horses' stables now, the stables of Roostonshire. Now, you guys, we are at Roostonshire Stables, and to note that these stables are not actually owned by the groomsmen here, but by the Lord of Roostonshire, and that is because horse breeding is a very big industry and very lucrative. There are many different types of horses, and each kind are best for a particular kind of job, such as breeds for towing heavy loads, a breed for riding long distances with very little water, or a breed better for hunting and being able to keep up with game and sprinting for longer distances. Well, here at Roostonshire, the horses are bred for war, which makes Roostonmeres very sought after and desired by knights and lords because they are less skittish, which makes them easier to handle in the midst of battle, whereas most other horses will spook easily and throw their mounter off their backs. And so, because of this particular kind of horse breed that Roostonshire is known for, many knights and lords have journeyed here to Roostonshire to be able to buy one of their very expensive horses from the Lord of Roostonshire, thus creating a hefty income for the Lord of Roostonshire. And because of the extra income, the Lord is able to better fortify and protect the town, allowing the peasants of Roostonshire to better prosper and to grow into a town of commerce where knights, merchants, peasants, and lords alike can come, trade, and buy and sell, and basically conduct business. And with that little piece of lore, we're going to go ahead and check out the Roostonshire Stables. And as you notice, you see this big pile of hay and manure. And again, the flies are a direct indicator of how smelly this place is. And we have a wagon cart right here that I designed. I based this off of a design I seen in the game Kingdom Come Deliverance. It's a great game, very inspiring. If you ever need to get ideas of how to build things medieval, I would recommend that. So we've come into our stables, and as you see, I went all out and I added a lot of detail to the ceilings. I added a lot of detail to all the ceilings, to all the builds I've done in this place. I think it's really important to give that kind of fortified look. It kind of looks like the ceiling actually have braces that are holding them up. So I think that's really cool and has a really good effect. So again, if we make our way down this hall, we come to this gate, and luckily it's open, because when we go inside, we will see that this is where maybe the apprentice groomsman would live or would stay. As you see, he has a little hay bed on the ground. So this would be where, when a horse is paid for or ordered or bought, they would grab the horse, and the apprentice groomsman would then begin to shoe it and clean it and brush it and basically get it all pretty and ready for the lord or knight or merchant or whoever bought the horse. All right, so that's that. So we're gonna go ahead and move on with our tour, and we're gonna visit the last house on this tour, which is the groomsman's house. So we're gonna go ahead and go inside. And as you guys would have expected, it's pretty similar to all the other houses we've been in so far. There's a stove for cooking their meals. They have a table right here where they would eat their food or their meals on. And they have things hanging. They have some herbs, some vegetables hanging. And of course, we have some cabinets for some storage, some things up top. And then we have a couple of beds with a chest for some personal belongings, some valuables. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the setup for the groomsman's home. Very simple, very modest dwellings, but it's perfect for them. It's comfy, it's home. So that's pretty much it on our tour. And over there we have what will be the Reeves or the sheriff's house, and that will be featured in maybe the next episode when it's ready. But as for now, that's it, you guys. And I want to thank you guys if you guys made it this far into the video. Again, this was another long video, but again, there was a lot to show you guys, a lot I did, and there's still a lot more to go, but it's coming along and I'm loving it. And there you have it, the west entrance of Roostonshire. I've really been putting in a lot of hard work, really trying to give it that immersive feel, and I can honestly say I think it's all paying off, and I'm loving it. I'm loving how it's coming out. I'm loving how it's coming along, and I hope you guys out there are enjoying it as much as I am. And I hope it's giving you guys some inspiration, and maybe you guys found something that you guys can take and add to your own builds. Also, I hope that you guys will come back and join me for the next episode, where I will be building a tanner's lodge and a market stall area where our townspeople can buy and sell their own goods. We are really wrapping this place up. It won't be long until this place is finished and we'll be moving on to the next project. So if you enjoy this type of content and you would like to see more, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to turn on that red notification bell so you don't miss any future Minecraft Conquest Reforged videos. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you think of this series. If there's anything that you think I should add that I didn't add, let me know in the comment section below. I'll consider it if I like the idea, and then maybe build it somewhere in this town. This has been the Kinder Knight from Roostonshire, and I bid you a farewell.